Alright everyone, I've been showing you guys how to do tutorials using how to import footage, how to make sequences, how to do voiceovers, a little bit with audio. But now I'm going to show you how to do a little bit better audio, incorporating a little bit of a package as well. A package is reporter, interview, and B-roll. Obviously we're using a lot of sports, so I'm going to import some new footage here. So I'm going to create a new project, and I'm going to title it BJP tutorial. Always name your project. The worst thing you ever see is untitled project or unnamed project 1. You don't know if you have to go back and make a correction and you're going through 50 of these. Always name your project. We're going to say audio 2. Okay. So, as I already showed you guys how to import, we're going to go Command I. And now I'm going to cycle through all my stuff, and you can just ignore this right quick. And I'm importing my audio and my video. It'll take it a second. Alright, all of our footage is imported, and as I was saying in one of the beginning tutorials, that you could see blue line where it's generating the peak and conforming the audio. Sometimes you'll click on a clip and you won't have any audio at all. Ignore that, because what Premiere is doing is it's making the audio clips work with Premiere. So, what we're going to do on this tutorial is, this is from a football practice in October of last year where a videographer and a reporter went to practice, filmed B-roll, did post-game interviews, and a stand-up. They made a package. Now, a package can be however you want. I'm just showing you the basics of how to make a package. So what these two did was they went and filmed practice B-roll. They knew what the shots they were looking for, and that's all I'm cycling through right here. So I'm big on naming and labeling colors. So we're just going to label this folder B-roll. And there was some game footage in here as well. So we're going to delete a lot of this stuff because there's too much here. And there's our favorite Australian, Kelsey Williams. So we're just going to go ahead and delete a lot of this stuff. Okay, so we have our reporter and we have our interviews. Don't worry about the framing. Don't worry about the color. That's what I'm showing you. So what we want to do is we want to have the audio from Kelsey's microphone playing while we do our package. So let's say we're going to click on this first clip.
Thanks, Mike and Coach Campbell. The Bears have taken care of business here.
Now, if you watched over here, I'm going to play it back for us. I can't talk that much, but watch the left and the right meters right here.
Thanks, Mike and Coach Campbell. The Bears have taken care of business here in Conway.
The right meter is higher than the left. One of the ways that I like to edit, and it really comes in handy when you're doing packages, is to edit from the audio. So in Premiere, when I have my clip selected in my source monitor, there's this little wrench. If I hit it, I can look at audio waveform. Kelsey goes away. You can see where on the right track she's plugged into the microphone. This is the microphone she was holding, and the left track, track 1, is the NAT. So I like to edit a package based on audio. My clip is 16 seconds and 15 frames. Well, I don't want this stuff where we can hear her videographer Michael counting down. I want to have Kelsey start right before she starts talking, so I'm going to match it perfectly. I'm using my right arrow. You can see Kelsey starting to talk, so we're going to come in a little bit before here, and I'm going to set my end point, which is I. My seconds are going to go down. I'm now 11 seconds. We're going to play this through.
Thanks, Mike and Coach Campbell. The Bears have taken care of business here in Conway as they defeated the Wildcats. The Bears will now head back on the road as they look to defeat Houston Baptist.
I paused it. When she got done saying Houston Baptist, that's where I want to go back to. So I'm using my left arrow key. I'm just holding it down. I'm going back. Kelsey's done. I hit O. My 16-second clip is now 9 seconds and 11 frames. Go back to my composite video. There's Kelsey. So now we have our first clip. What makes a package good is having voiceovers. Now, they didn't do a good job of labeling it, but we're not worried about this being quality. We're worried about knowing how to do audio and knowing how to flip channels. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take this interview here with Blake Beasley. Kelsey asked the questions, and we can use our wrench again, and we can go audio waveform. And you can see on left track, that's the wind blowing. And on the right track here, where it looks fuller, the waveforms are higher, they're thicker than this low, that's where we can hear the person talking. So we're going to scrub a little bit. We're going to find where Kelsey started asking the question.
How has it affected you and the team having Taylor Reid go out and Hayden Hildebrand come in?
You hate to see it.
We want to start our clip where Blake Beasley starts talking and Kelsey stops. So I'm left arrowing it until we about right there. I hit my eye point for in. My clip is now 1 minute and 6 seconds, 19 frames.
You hate to see a guy like Taylor Reid go down, hard worker, leader, but he's still around and he's gonna be back. He's working.
We're gonna wait for Blake to stop talking. I'm using my left arrow key to go back, and I hit O. I go back to my composite video, and I can just drag this down. Now, one thing that gets a little bit tricky for some people is like, this is so big. Down here at the bottom, you can move this to zoom in, or you can hit the Z. You can't use it. You can use this bottom cursor, and you can zoom in a little bit more. I can tell by looking at waveforms when Kelsey and Blake are talking. So that's just something that comes in time. Like Kelsey's going to start talking here.
How were you able to put so many points up against Abilene Christian when they defeated you last year? What was the plan and how did you execute it?
There's this dead space here where Blake's talking. We don't want to hear Kelsey talking in this case.
Last year, we felt like we really beat ourselves. We dug ourselves in the hole. We had 7 turnovers, a few interceptions, a couple fumbles. This year, it was just all about us focusing on us, executing to the best of our ability, and not really worried about them, just playing the best that we can play.
So we're going to stop our out point. Our clip's now 15 seconds. Go back to composite video, and we drag it down. So right now, with 1 stand-up of Kelsey and 2 sound bites of Blake Beasley, we're at 32 seconds. Jerry Overton will ask for most packages to be anywhere from 90 seconds, which is a minute and a half, 2.5, 3 minutes. So really, we're about a quarter of the way there. So we're going to keep on. We're going to find another guy, and then we can do it this way too. We're gonna watch where Kelsey stops asking, and then we're gonna just hit our endpoint.
It's just behind Coach Campbell, just listening to everything he said, just getting better every week. I really didn't think we struggled the first week, but we just kept improving and showing our last 2 games.
He's done talking, so we hit our out point. We drag it down. This is when I was talking about color coding. That's really why I like the color code. Where I'll color code my audio, my reporter, where I know that circulin, whatever it's called, this one is Kelsey, and these are the players. You could even go so far as to say, well, this one right here is Blake Beasley. I think this guy's name was Willis. So we know those clips. We're going to go back to... Just a future note, remember, whenever the camera's recording, you never know what kind of faces you're going to make. We're going to get a clip right here, Dominique Thomas. We're going to start it.
That's where it starts at. They've gotten tremendous push these past couple of weeks. They've improved greatly since the first game. And it was the first play of the game. The run play was called, and it wasn't given to me, but I could see everything opening up. And I knew from then it was going to be a pretty good game.
So then we're going to hit our O. We're at 16 seconds. Jerry Overton will tell you guys no sound bites should be longer than 17 seconds. So if you can kind of see how I'm editing, that's why everything's under 17 seconds. So now we're going to go back to Kelsey. We want to find her close. It takes her some time for close. And I'm just scrubbing through. Usually your last record's the best one. We're going to set our endpoint.
The Bears look to go above 500 for the first time this season, and at the same time win their third straight conference game. For All Access, I'm Kelsey Williams.
Kelsey's done. We set our O. We drag it down. So now, granted, we don't really know how good this middle part is for storytelling, but our package is now 1 minute and 9 seconds and 15 frames. The first thing we're going to tackle is our audio. As I expand it, I told you guys about the audio where the left track was just the microphone on the camera and the right track was the actual microphone that Kelsey's holding. So let's do this. We're going to select it all. We're going to hit Shift G or right click audio channels, and we're going to make it all left. And if you can hear,
This year is just all about us focusing on us and executing to the best.
it doesn't sound that great. It sounds very, very low because that's the camera from the microphone, which is about right here, not this microphone. We're going to go back. We're going to hit Shift G again. We're going to do right.
A guy like Taylor Reed go down, hard worker, leader.
It sounds fuller. The audio levels in the camera were a little bit lower because you want to have a little bit of a cushion.
The Wildcats. The Bears will now
Kelsey
head
sounds perfect here. Now, this will be a better one to show you guys. So if everything's left,
back to the Wildcats. The Bears will now
you can
head
hear
back
the
on
wind.
road
You can
as they
hear
look
the
to
air
defeat-
conditioners. That's not great. If you go to the right,
They're taking care of business here in Conway as they defeated the Wildcats. The Bears will now head back on the road as
you can tell the difference. So we're going to put all of our audio at the left or the right channel. So we're set. But you can see how Blake is a little bit low, how Willis is a little bit low, and how Dominique's a little bit low. So what we're going to do is we're going to select these, and we're going to hit just the G key. We're going to say set gain to, let's try 12. Actually, yeah, we're going to set gain to 12. I'm going to show you guys another way. See how the audio meters kind of match more about Kelsey? While we play it, watch over here. Watch over here.
back on the road as they look to defeat Houston Baptist.
You hate to see a guy like Taylor Reed go down, hard worker, leader, but he's still around and he's gonna be back. He's working his tail off to get back. But last year we felt like we really.
You can see how Kelsey's audio matched Blake Beasley's audio. They were about -9, -12. Now watch the dip off when we go from Blake
We can
to
play.
Willis.
It's just behind Coach Campbell, just listening to everything he said.
He's about -21. So let's do him at 12 as well.
Better every week. I really didn't think we struggled the first week, but we just kept improving.
The audio's getting better and better and better. We're gonna go 12 here for Dominique.
They've improved greatly since the first game.
So let's say we're just going to take everything back down to 0, so we're back where we started. And you don't want to go clip, clip, clip. Got to figure out what the audio is here. We can do something called, I hit G, normalize all peaks to 0, hit OK.
It's just behind Coach Campbell, just listening to everything he says, just getting better every week. I really didn't think we struggled the first week, but we just.
And you can see where your
Really beat
audio
ourselves.
clips are now. I personally recommend, if you're going to normalize your peaks, I recommend going about -4.
We dug ourselves in a hole. We had 7 turnovers, a few interceptions.
Since Kelsey was already set very good, I'm using command click and then command click. Sorry. Shift click and then shift click again. I'm hitting G. We're going to normalize all peaks to -4. It doesn't do a lot because, as you saw, the peak amplitude right here is 5.3, and I got Kelsey up by 1.3 decibels, so she's at the -4, matching the other
defeated the
3
Wildcats.
players.
The Bears will now head back on the road as they look to defeat Houston Baptist.
You hate to see a guy like Taylor Reed go down, hard worker.
So what we've done here is we have put all of your audio tracks on audio track 1 and video track 1, and our audio is normalized and ready to go. But this doesn't look all that great. We're adding a wrinkle to it. I have had you guys working on video track 1 and audio track 1 this entire time. Now we're going to work on audio track and video track 2. What I always like to do is, because of how I edit, I'll mute my audio track because I don't need to worry about it right now. I'm more worried about the B-roll. So let's say this is a really good B-roll shot. I'm randomly clicking here. And I'm going to hit my endpoint. And I'm going to play it. And then I'm going to hit my pause, which is space, to pause it. I'm hitting O. My clip goes from 12 seconds to 4. Now, I've been having you guys do this. But what you want to do is you want to have it like so. To where when you watch it, we're going to mute everything. You have B-roll. And then let's go to this clip right here. We hit our pause. We want this clip to be about right here. I'm going back to my B-roll, and that's all Kelsey. We want this clip right here. I'm setting my in point. I'm setting my out point. I'm dragging it down. Setting my in point. Setting my out point. We're going to drag it to right here. Like I said, I'm just randomly doing clips here, guys. Just randomly doing clips here. Yes, I know that was the same. I already have a clip like that. Okay. In one of the previous tutorials, I showed you guys where if as you're hovering your mouse over things in the timeline window, you'll see 2 horizontal lines and 2 up and down arrows. I'm moving it up because I want to see more of my audio. Now, as you can see here on our audio, we only have the left channel, but the right track is dead. So watch as I play these clips. We're going to keep Kelsey and the players muted, but we're going to play. We only have one audio track. So the first thing we want to do is we want to pan, flip, adjust the channels, whichever you prefer. So we're going to go Shift-G. We're going to make them all left. So we've flipped our left and our right channels to where now as I unmute the audio, we can see that we have sound on both left and right track coming from our audio track channel 1. But if we unmute Kelsey and the players,
Bears will now head back on the road as they look to defeat Houston Baptist.
You hate to see a guy like Taylor Reed go down, hard worker, leader, but he's still around and he's gonna be back. He's working his tail off to get back. Us executing to the best of our ability and not really worried about them, just playing the best that we can play.
It's just behind Coach Campbell.
Sometimes your audio will get a little bit too loud. Your NAT sound will be too loud. So what we want to do is we want to select our NAT sound and we want to hit the G key again. We want to normalize all of ours to, let's try -15 this time. Didn't really do much. Let's try it again. Sometimes you have to do a few of them. We're just go -30. Where we should be able to hear.
You hate to see a guy like leader, but he's still around.
That was my computer, sorry.
He's gonna be back. He's working his tail off to get back. But last year we felt like we really beat ourselves.
You have a little bit of audio behind your track. So that's what you want. You want to make it to where you have a little bit of NAT sound because it adds to the video. So, recap of this tutorial. You were showed how to do a package by using audio track 1 and video track 1 of your subject and your reporter, and using video track and audio track 2 for NAT sound.